And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the Korean StarCraft League of the KSL week number 57. Whew, it's been a pretty intense tournament so far, and we've made it to the ZvZ finals for the first time in years, Pappy, in a long time. A ZvZ finals for the KSL. It's crazy. I think for the first time in 2024. But we're jumping on in. If you're in the chat, predictions. Get your gamba going, as predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will be this week's champion. It's going to be a tough one to call, especially in a ZvZ mirror matchup, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have the other South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talent Esports. It is Dark. We go. Have our best of 5, we have our ZvZ, and so far, hatch first. We're going what looks to be a hatch gas pool standard opens for the time being, but I'm sure that chaos will ensue at multiple points in this series. Both Dark and SHIN are quite aggressive players. They're some of the most aggressive players, aggressive Zerg players in Korea, more so than Solar, more so than DRG, more so than Su. SHIN and Dark are always so willing to just throw caution to the wind, to be in your face at all moments. And we'll see if that means a chaotic series, or if they kind of bounce off each other and we end up entering a more macro game state in these ZvZs. It's possible. It is possible. As for now, we do have our hatch gas pools, standard openers, settling into 2 bases, and we'll see where our players take us from here. We'll see if either player decides to stay on 2 bases, bearing in mind that side Delta has a unique feature, has the ramp leading to the natural. This does mean that you can wall off on 2 bases, make use of this high ground, and go 2-base roach and skip the Ling Bane phase of the game. Otherwise, we should just be expanding, taking a third, and entering the Ling Bane phase of ZvZ. Is going to be the alternative. So now we are making the extra wave of units here, turning on up. Third base now being taken by SHIN. That third base is on the way for our Red Zerg player. Meanwhile, Dark staying on 2 bases. Okay. So I was curious to see if either one of our players will play 2 base, and we have an answer. The answer is Dark. Ooh. Hidden Bailey Nest. He's crazy. Okay. So a lot's happening right now. A couple of things. One, SHIN is going for a standard hatch gas pool into a third, and it is so important for SHIN to scout the Bailey Nest. If SHIN fails to scout the Bailey Nest, SHIN will most likely cancel his own and go into roaches. And if he cancels the Bailey Nest against a Ling Bane all-in from Dark, then SHIN may just fall over and die. He needs to scout. He needs to scout, needs to confirm. Lings are dipping on forward. The queens are in position to deny the scouts. And SHIN does confirm the lack of expansion. He cancels! I mean, this is the correct thing to do. You are meant to cancel against 2-base roach, but as we can see, it's not 2-base roach. It's an all-in. It's a Ling Bane all-in, and SHIN will not have Bailings. Uh-oh. And now he knows. Now SHIN does confirm. Lings are flooding across the map. Third base now being taken. And Dark is sending everything across the map. SHIN, can he wall off in time? Evo Chamber has arrived. Does wall off. Does catch a queen, though. Yeah, the queen is caught out, and Dark, he does get on top of the third base. Queen goes down. Third hatchery under fire. We do see SHIN now exposing himself, pushing out onto the map. Bailing's coming in from behind. Up. And the first Bailing is started. Second Bailing. Up. Barely not. Decent connections. The queens are getting surrounded. The queens are shut down. No more Bailings welding in. And Dark, he's breaking through. He's breaking through. No more queens. The wall is open. And we have broken into the natural. We want to hold on to that Bailing. We don't want to waste it. Don't want to waste the Bailing. Again, no more queens to defend. The Bailing is denied, and it looks like Dark has done it. He's caught a SHIN with his pants down. The Bailing, oh my god! We deny the massive connection as we tap out. GG, and Dark takes game number 1. Whew. GG. A very spicy game there out of Dark. Again, winding it back a little bit to explain what happened there. Dark, he basically faked 2-base roach. He faked 2-base roach. He didn't take a third. He stayed on 2 bases. And if you're in a ZvZ at this level of play, and if you're up against a player that skips their Bailey Nest and goes into roaches, it is typically considered the correct thing to do to cancel your own Bailey Nest to also get into roaches to preserve your gas, right? To preserve your gas as best you can so you don't fall behind in the roach count of your opponent. So that was the correct thing to do from Shin. Unfortunately, he was working with incomplete information. He was unable to scout behind the main base, and he wasn't able to confirm that it was a Link Flood and a Baneling Bust, and Shin got caught out. Was caught out in the end. GG, well played. Just like that, Dark takes game 1. Dark does take game 1. The mind games are real. And I wouldn't even be opposed to Dark doing the same thing, but actually just playing Roach Ravager, and then Shin doesn't cancel the Baneling Nest and falls behind. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to like faking the same build and going for something macro instead, but for now we're jumping into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaimin Gladiators. Down in the series, can he bounce back? It is Shin. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports, leading the series 1-0. Does take lead in this finals, and can we make it to match point? It is Dark. Here we go. Whew. Oh boy. So, I love the way that Dark starts the series, because what this does is that this plants a seed of doubt in Shin. Now Shin is gonna be second guessing what he scouts, right? Like, now if he sees something, is it really what he's seeing? Is it really, you know, 2-base roach, or is it really like hatch gas pool? Like that kind of doubt, or that seed of I was trying to go for another word, but that sense of insecurity is gonna be there for Shin. That's it. So we'll see if Shin can kind of avoid that. We'll see if he can work past that and get into his own game and shake off game 1. We'll see if he can shake it off. Here we go. On the flip side, it could be Shin's turn to be the aggressor. I mentioned before, coming into the finals, that it isn't just Dark, but Shin is also a very aggressive and very chaotic player, and the build that we just saw out of Dark, I could totally see Shin doing the same. Like, that's the thing. Like, Shin is also known for having the biggest brain in Korea, in SE2 even. Like, Shin is very unique as a player. He comes up with a lot of his own builds, does put a lot of thought into his own playstyle. Can play macro, don't get me wrong, but often does take his own approach to things as well. Shin and Dark are a little bit similar in that sense. They are quite similar. Which is what I love about both of them, what I appreciate from both Shin and Dark. But now, Link Speed is on the way. We are getting into Link Speed. Dark, a little bit faster to pull back into gas. Interesting. We'll see if that leads to anything. As we do see Shin taking his third, Dark should be doing the same. Uh-oh. No third base for Dark. And he did pull back into gas a little bit sooner. Are we going for the same build? Are we playing 2-base Roach, or are we faking 2-base Roach? Bailey Nest gets thrown down for Shin. And Dark, what's the plan? The scouting links are cleaned up. Do we actually play 2-base Roach this time? Like, again, I really like this out of Dark, because this looks like what he was faking in game 1, basically. This is what Dark was faking in game 1, and now he's actually doing it. There's that Roach Warren, there's Eva Chamber he's walling off. Again, it perceived to be 2-base Roach. Shin is aware, and again, Shin should cancel the Bailey Nest, but after what happened in the last game, he might keep it, which would be a better thing for Dark. So do we cancel or do we keep it? It looks like, yeah, we keep Dark, he's living in Shin's mind rent-free. Bailey Nest finishes. This is inefficient for Shin, but it is safer. So if you remember, I mean, canceling the Bailey Nest did kill him. Go for a big Link Flood. Boys are being pulled. We save the Queens. Very nice response here out of Dark. But the Queen is low. He wants it. He wants the Queen. Up, and he gets it. Hey, the Queen does go down. Nice catch here from Shin. Does get the one Queen, does deny mining time. Dark doesn't lose any workers, but a Queen does fall. The Bailing doesn't get much done. So we have a bit of a give and take here. A little bit of a give and take. At least Shin was able to get something done with those links, but that was 15 links for 1 queen. That was a brutal trade. And now Dark is taking a later third base. And again, Dark, the goal of this build is to avoid and skip Ling Bane. We're working towards a Roach push. Now, whether this leads into full 3-base saturation or a 2-base all-in, yet to be determined. We'll keep an eye on Dark. We'll keep an eye on the drone count. At any moment, he could go for a +1 2-base Roach all-in and go for a +1 timing, or he could just work on +2 and drone. And Dark has options. Dark has options. Back at home, Shin does have the economic advantage because he does have the faster third base, so he's droning up. Ooh, but Shin, that's a lot of roaches. That's a lot of roaches early on. And Shin, do you see? Okay, we have a lair. We do have a lair. We have roach speed on the way. Dark rushing into burrow. Oh, okay, we're good. I was like, burrow? He's crazy. Okay, burrow is cancelled. Don't you worry. Overseer is scouting, is trying to get eyes on the gas saturation. Changeling is denied. But Shin is trying to figure out, is it an all-in or not? And likewise, Shin, he's cutting workers at 49. He's not making any more drones yet. Shin making pure roach. Dark splitting off his units. Now we have burrow on the way and tunneling core roaches. Darky does catch 2 drones. And Shin's all in. Okay, Shin is all in. Shin has had enough responding to Dark. He's had enough reacting. Instead, he wants to force Dark to react to him. So Shin is going to be cutting at 47. Roach's lings are amassing. This should be a speed and +1 timing here for Shin. Now the problem is that +1 is already done for Dark. He's working on +2, working on of course, Carapace. Now what's scary for Dark is that he's invested quite heavily into drones. He's on 56 workers, and Dark also invested into a second Evo chamber and upgrades. Burrow and Tunneling Claws. These are upgrades that are not really going to factor into the all-in. So Shin has a massive roach lead. Shin is up in army. His move out gets spotted. And can Dark survive this? Again, Dark, has he been too greedy? Has he droned up too much? Has he teched up too much? The army has arrived. Dark buying some time. Massing up roaches. And Shinny goes for the dive. Ooh, one of the biles does connect. And Shin does take a bow to the face. And Shinny's droning. He does pull away. He does back off. Shin, he has missed his timing. And this droning for Shin is brutal because now Dark, all these upgrades are about to kick in. Dark is going to get into +2, he's going to get into 2-1 upgrades, a massive upgrade lead. Dark already had the economic advantage as well. And Shin, he's in trouble. Shin is in trouble here as the all-in was lackluster. He's trying to macro up. Dark is already there. Even using Burrow to just heal up his roaches, top them up. And now can use them to harass. But now just hunting down more of these overlords. Supply blocking Shin. 4 overlords on 5 overlords on the way for Shin. We're gonna get another. And Dark now has a massive supply lead. Again, earlier that push was the best chance that Shin had, and he missed it. And Dark got away with so much greed. Now Dark is pushing in. Shin up against the wall. We avoid the piles. We just don't even care. We go for the kill. Yeah, the Ravagers are exposed. Ravagers are going down. And Shin is being broken. GG gets called. Dark takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. And again, I love how Dark approached game number 2 as well. Again, game 1, he faked 2-base Roach. Game 2, actually went 2-base Roach, and if you remember, Shin did invest heavily into Ling Bane early on, trying to catch Dark off guard. Didn't do so in the end. It wasn't quite worth it. Initially, I imagine the failed Ling Bane aggression, because he only got the 1 queen, is what led into Shin going for the all-in, is what led to him just cutting workers early on, but wasn't able to make use of it, did miss his timing. In the end, Dark did defend, he did survive, he bought enough time, and the series might just end here and now. We're loading into game 3. Dark is up 2-0. I'm hoping for a longer series. I'm hoping for a back and forth. But so far, the builds of choice have been... the builds have been rough for Shin. Getting caught with his pants down in game 1. Likewise, unable to catch Dark with his pants down in game 2. who's going to be the aggressor in Game 3? That's what I'm curious about. Who's going to be the aggressor? As we're loading in to Ghost River. Oh boy. This is where both players double down. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaming Gladiators. It is SHIN. The pressure is on. One more loss, and he will be out of the tournament. He has to bring it back here and now. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. One game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. It is Dark. We go. Okay. For now, looks to be Hatch Gas Pool. Looks to be standard openers. It's going to be Hatch first for Dark, Hatch first for SHIN. Bearing in mind, loading into Ghost River, a very small map. And it is very easy, it takes very little time to move out across the map and to commit to an all-in. So you have very little time to respond and to react to your opponent. And we've kind of taken turns. Remember, Game 1, Dark was the aggressor. Game 2, SHIN was the aggressor. Game 3, do we see a long macro game? Do we just get up to 3-base saturation and get into a 4th even? It's possible. This could be the map. As weird as that sounds. We'll see. I see Pecoeta in the chat. Just keep saying seed. You're an animal, papi. You're an animal. Este Pecoeta. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Juke and jiving. Exactly. Hey, you get it. You get it. The Juke's back. As for now, again, we're going to be joining up. Again, Hatch Gas Pool, getting to Link Speed. And we'll keep an eye on the 3rd base timing. We will keep an eye. This series so far, Dark has not opened up 3 Hatch. He's avoided that 3rd base. He's been playing 2 base every single game so far. I mean, he took a 3rd eventually last game, but not when it came to the initial opener. We'll keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, when it comes to Ghost River, the reason why we could see a bit of a longer game here is because of the defender's advantage. In a sense, especially in a longer game. Never mind! Oh my god, we're rushing into a lair! That was not an option. I was like, Ling Flood, 2-base Roach, 2-base Ling Bane. That is an insanely fast lair here from Dark. And extra gases are being taken as well. It is going to be 2-base. We're going to be staying on 2 bases. We're being very tech heavy, rushing into a lair. And we'll see where Dark takes us. Meanwhile, SHIN going for a standard opener. Hatch Gas Pool into a 3rd. Bailey Nest has been thrown down. And we will not need a Bailey Nest. So SHIN, he should be canceling this if he's able to get a read on what's going on. We'll see if Dark can deny the scouts. Eva Chamber and Roach Warren. Again, we're revealing 2-base Roach. But with the fast lair, this can be for an all-in. This could be for really fast Roach speed. And we just commit to an all-in. Or we could do something crazy and go 2-base Muta. Now, I'm not fond of 2-base Muta on this map. That sounds insane. There's a cancel. Okay, this time SHIN, he cancels the Bailey Nest, throws down his own Roach. He's going 2-base Muta! He's crazy! Oh my god. Okay. It is 2-base Muta. He's lost his mind. Now, the reason why I mentioned that I'm not too fond of 2-base Muta is because the punish hits so quickly. As soon as SHIN realizes what's going on, if he has a Master Roach army, he can counterattack so fast, and it's going to be a tough hold. It's going to be a tough hold for Dark. Now, what I love here, Dark is showing the upgrades. Dark is showing +1 range and Roach speed. This makes it look like, obviously, fast lair, but it makes it look like he's investing into Roaches, and it makes it that much more difficult for SHIN to realize there's a Spire. Does make it more difficult. Now, it's possible that Dark lets this finish. He could cancel these upgrades and just make as many mutas as possible, but especially because of the map, I think it is wise to only make like 6 mutas. 6 mutas to harass, 6 mutas to have map control, to hunt down overlords, to contain the opponent, and then we get into Roach play, and then we expand and take a 3rd base. That's how I assume that Dark is going to approach this, is more of a macro setup. The Spire is done. Mutas are on the way. can see Dark is setting up for the third. Yep, there we go. Third base is being taken. Meanwhile, Shin back at home has somewhat droned. Light saturation at his own third. Playing it safe, amassing up his own roaches. Wings. Oh, their scout is denied. But did they spot the mutas? Oh, that was close. I mean, now they know. Now the mutas reveal themselves. And again, only a handful of mutas. And this is just for map control. This is just to hunt down overlords. And from here, Dark needs roaches. Otherwise, he will die to the counterattack. Speaking of, this is the army we're amassing. Now, Shin is droning, throwing down spore crawlers. Shin is not going for a counter push. Not yet. And we are going to be entering a longer game. How many mutas did we make? Only 3. I assumed it was going to be 6. The reason why I said 6 is because 6 mutas is enough to one-shot drones. But instead, we're only going for 3 mutas. Again, only for map control. That's all we want. So very light commitment here to mutas. Ooh, as Dark is making more roaches. Shin getting supply blocked. Okay, there we go. I was looking to see if Dark was going to saturate. He is now saturating his third base. He is behind in workers. Dark can't really threaten the mineral lines, not with 3 mutas. Like, 3 mutas is not enough to really do much to the drone count of Shin. Lings, they confirm the drones are coming out. And Shin, I love the idea of, oh my god, we do see Dark going for a bit of a run by. Does dive in, does catch a queen. But Dark, he's going to be shut down. He cannot keep up. Shin just has far too much of the ground. And again, Shin has a massive economic lead. I love the idea of Shin punishing Dark and going for a big counterattack. Shin and catching roaches. But doesn't move out, respecting the mutas. Hydroden is on the way. This tells us that Shin plans on defending. This tells us that Shin plans on just droning, getting his third base, getting a fourth, and getting into Roach Hydra. And that means Dark has time to build up. As I say that, here comes the push. Okay. We're getting into Hydra production, but Shin is moving out, and Dark is going to be in trouble. I don't think Dark can survive this. Like, mutas, we're getting back into muta production, but there's just so many roaches. There's just too much here. Yeah, we're stepping forward. We're going for the main army. We ignore the third base. We're going for the kill. And the mutas will eventually clean this up, but eventually it's not fast enough. Yeah, we get on top of the final queen. Into the mineral lines as well. Drones are falling. Yeah, drones are going down left and right. We peel off some roaches. We hit the third base. At the same time, Dark goes for a certain counterattack, but we have Hydra reinforcements back at home. And GG gets called. Shin, he does fight back and does put a point on the board. GG. Whew. We will not have a 3-0. And again, I'm really not fond of 2-base muta on this map. I feel somewhat vindicated in my thoughts. Solely because of the rush distance by ground. Solely because of the rush distance, because that counterattack from Shin hits so fast. It hits so hard and so fast. It doesn't take long at all to move out. So, yeah, last Dark was vulnerable. He had a late third base. He only had a handful of mutas, much lower roach count, and Shin did punish. But I do appreciate the creativity out of Dark, because it caught me the hell off guard. Like, I was like, he's crazy. And he is crazy. It was a wild move going 2-base muta, and I love that we at least saw that here on Ghost River. But now we're getting into a larger map. Okay. What I was gonna say here, I would not be opposed to mutas on Alcyone. Alcyone is going to be coming up next, one of the larger maps in the map pool, one of the largest maps in the map pool. But I don't think it's necessary. Like, I feel like on a large map like this, we could see some macro. We could see our players build up and even get into a 4th base saturation. Well, not 4 base saturation, but 4 bases. We could see some proper Roach v Roach. We'll see. It's been a chaotic series. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaimin Gladiators, fighting back and putting a point on the board. But he needs one more game. One more game to force the ace match. Can we bring it to game 5? It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. Where we go? Ooh. Okay. Oh, pull first. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, Shin. He's cooking. Let him cook, Bobby. Let him cook. Dark going for the goal. Oh my god. They're all crazy. They've all lost their minds. Okay. Dark is rushing into the goal base. Meanwhile, Shin with the pull first can punish this. Shin don't have much faster. Ling's active on the map now. Ooh, okay. Couple of things. This opener out of Shin feels like a defensive opener. It's pull, hatch, gas. What does this mean? Late Ling speed. Ling speed is going to be later. Bailing's going to be later as well. We will have earlier Lings, that is true. Can this punish the gold? That's the question. That is the big question here for Shin. If it can, then it's going to be worth it. And from here, typically, because the gases are so late for Shin, this is going to be initial Ling opener, into an expansion, into 2-base Roach. We skip Ling speed. We skip Ling speed. We skip Bailings because gases are so late anyway, and we just wall up and go into 2 bases into Roach play. For now, Lings are moving out, and the Overlord does confirm the expansion. Ooh, and Dark is still working on that spawning pool. This looks like almost a hard counter. Even the drone, we're gonna mine through. He's, oh my god, I love this. Shin, he's cooking. Look at him go. He mines through the minerals, and the Lings they gain access to the expansion. He breaks on through into the other side. And he can even throw down a... Does he throw down a Spine Crawler? He does! Spine Crawler as well! Oh my god, it's all coming together. The Lings have arrived. And they're all trying to camp the eggs. They don't quite get this around. Don't quite get it. And again, the hatchery under fire. Queen is on the way, but the hatchery's getting so low. And Dark, I don't think he can save it. Yeah, we canceled. Yeah, he does cancel the Queen. The hatchery goes down. We cancel the Spine Crawler. We don't need it. And we race back home. And now all Shin has to do is defend, and Dark, he's stuck on 1 base. He's stuck on 1 base. Bathing Nest gets thrown down, all in. Dark is going for an all in, and Shin, all he needs to do, wall up. He needs to wall up and throw down the Spine Crawler, and he's going to be okay. We just need to defend. Easier said than done. It's going to be easier said than done. This Queen is wild. We're going to get caught out on the map. This Queen is on a mission, and can we get the Overlord? We can. Is it worth it? Can we save the Queen? Yeah, Lings have arrived. The Queen takes a lot of hits. We'll save it. We have to get home. We have to race back home, Bobby. The wall has begun. There's that Evo chamber. There's that Roach Warren and another Evo chamber as well. As we mentioned, because there's no gas, we cannot invest into Ling speed or Bailings. We need to wall up, and I would love to see a Spine Crawler as well. Love to see a Spine. Again, Shin, he sees no expansion. Dark, he's retaking the gold. Bailings are morphing in. Dark is committing, but we have 4 queens. With 4 queens and a transfuse, we don't even need the Spine. With this kind of setup, Spine Crawler not even necessary. Shin should be fine. And from here, he has a massive economic lead. He's droning up, he's taking gases. And on 2 bases, when Shin breaks out, what is Dark gonna have? I mean, the gold is gonna help, as we do Maynard over. The Overlord does confirm the Maynard, so Shin is aware. He's aware that the gold base is being retaken. Oh, Shin, he sneaks out across the map. Dark is racing back home. How did Shin get across the map? Oh my god. The slow Ling counterattack. He made it. Ooh, does get surrounded though. He gets 1 drone, but he won't get much more than that. Very nice control by Dark. Very nice defense. Dark not losing anything here. 1 drone. 1 drone for 10 Lings. Oh, that was pretty slick. So very nice crisis management here from Dark. Meanwhile, across the map, this is what's important though. This is what's terrifying. The +1 timing. The +1 Roach timing from Shin. Oh boy. Lair is on the way. That's going to be for Roach speed. Lings, they take down the tumor. Take down the tumor. You can see Dark trying to stabilize, taking another expansion. Prioritizing mining here at the gold. Evo chamber on the way. This might be for +1 carapace. We'll see what Dark works towards. And Shin, he's already joined up to 45. He's at 2-base saturation. He's already fully saturated on 2 bases, and Shin is amassing roaches. Oh boy. Here we go. Roach speed is on the way. I'm pretty sure +1 range will finish before Roach speed, so we might just move out with +1, and Roach speed will finish like halfway through the fight. As we already have so many roaches here for Shin. Roach Warren about to finish off for Dark. There's +1 carapace. Yeah, it's going to be for a Ling Ravager setup. So because Dark is going to be behind an army supply, the best chance that Dark has is the solar build. Essentially, it's just Ling Ravager. Ling Ravager. The goal here is to surround the roaches of Shin. If he can lock down the roaches of Shin with Lings, and if he can bow down the roaches with Ravagers, then even with a smaller army, then Dark could pull something crazy off, but Dark needs time. He needs time to build up. He needs time to recover. And Shin is still building up that roach army. Likewise, Dark just committing to roach production as well. The roaches are here. And Shin, you can see he's waiting for speed. He's waiting for roach speed, and then we pull the trigger. Dark is droning! Here come the Ravagers. As we mentioned, just the one Ravager. Dark does not have a lot of resources to work with. He has so little to ask. Dark, he saw the move out. The roaches, they were revealed at the Zelnaga. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. Let's go. It was an uphill battle there for Dark, especially with the rough opener. I mean, again, Shin basically hard countered Dark. It was crazy. Shin went for a pull first, Lings, and that one drone to mine through the minerals to go for the spine cooler as well. It was a crazy start, and from the beginning, Shin was in the driver's seat. And now we're going to the ace match. We're going to game 5. We got what we wanted. You know, regardless of how this goes, I did want a game 5. I wanted an ace match. We have made it. And this could go either way. This could go either way. And so far, it's still been Dark. Like, remember, on Ghost River, it was Dark attempting 2-base Roach. Sorry, 2-base Spire. 2-base Muta. Game 4, it was Dark attempting the goal base as well. It's been Dark still dictating the pace of the game, still kind of going for these crazy builds game after game after game. It's been Dark going for this, but Shin has been shutting him down. Has been the one to shut him down, and the question becomes, what the hell is going to happen in the ace match? What's going to happen, man? What's going to happen? Here we go. As we're getting into game 5 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our red Zerg player. Korean Zerg representing Gaimin Gladiators. He brought it all the way back to the ace match. Can we pull off the reverse sweep? He was down 2-0. Now we're tied up. It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Talon Esports. Dark was has been one game away from winning the entire series, but now it's been brought to the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Dark. Let's go. Oh my god. Here we go. As Dark is going hatch first, so is Shin. So far so good. This time Shin is not rushing into any early spawning pool. Just hatch first all around. And where will this take us? Where are we headed? Dark make another crazy play. I'm expecting something wild out of Dark. I mean, we have seen something wild out of Dark every game so far. It's gonna be hatch gas pool, mirrored opener out of Shin. Now, talking about the maps themselves, we spoke earlier about Site Delta and some of these other maps that can kind of favor 2-base roach play. Similar here. There's a ramp coming into the natural, so 2-base play is favored. Not just that, the power of Amphion is that you can wall off, you can open up 2-base, and then be greedy, mine through these minerals, and take a very fast and very safe third. So this map does allow you to cut corners, does allow you to be greedy off of roach play, which can be a factor. The downside, if one of these two players recognizes what you're doing, if they scout that you're trying to get a fast third while you're vulnerable, then they can mine through the minerals themselves and they can punish that third base if they mine through the minerals ahead of time or at a similar time. So scouting is going to be paramount here when it comes to punishing that kind of stuff, that kind of build. We'll see if we head in that direction. Speaking of mining through those minerals, Dark is the first to do so. Dark is mining through those minerals here on the left-hand side. This will gain access to the triangular third. The Overlord of Shin does confirm, and Shin responds with his own mining as well. Okay, so we're both mining through the mineral patches on the left-hand side. We're both opening up the left-hand side of the map. Ooh, okay, but SHIN is expanding on the right. Okay. SHIN is going for a standard third base timing on the right-hand side instead. The Overlord of Dark will confirm, and Dark has yet to expand. But this may just be because Dark is waiting to open up and expand on the left-hand side instead. That's a lot of links. That's a lot of links for Dark. Are we just link flooding? We're still in gas though. Interesting. We're still mining gas. So this looks like a link flood, and it is a link flood, but we are mining gas, so I'm getting mixed signals, Papi. I'm getting mixed signals here with what the gas is going to be spent on. Regardless, we're massing links. We're massing up links. There's multiple entries here into the base of SHIN. And we're pushing on the right-hand side. A massive link flood. Dark is committed. SHIN does spot it. He spots the link flood. Can he wall off? He's going to try. Does go for a quick wall. No Bailey Nest. Makes sense. No Bailey Nest here for SHIN. And Dark is going for the third. Going for the third hatchery. Likewise, Dark doesn't have a Bailey Nest himself. Just Ling versus Ling. But we have those queens to help support. The hatchery is getting low. Yeah, Dark, he's getting the surround. Gets enough of the Lings. Gets enough of the queens as well. And Dark, he catches out SHIN. And is this how the story ends? Is this how the finals end? We got a full surround. We're still going for the base as well. 3 queens have fallen. 2 drones and the third base. Yeah, massive loss here for SHIN. If Dark even out trading the Lings. Oh my god. And the Ling flood is paying off. And Dark, he's still making more Lings. 10 more Lings in production. Evo Chamber gets thrown down. Dark taking his own third base. And Dark coming in from both angles. Is still trying to break through, is still trying to overwhelm, and again, without queens, SHIN, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Ay, ay, ay. He cannot keep up. Not anymore. He has no injections. He just has less production. He's down in bases. He's down on injects, and GG gets called. The Ling flood snowballs out of control, and Dark will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's KSL champion. GG. GG, well played. Interesting. Okay, so there's a lot that just happened here. So Dark, he skipped his Bailey Nest, and because his third base was late, it looks like maybe SHIN thought it was going to be 2-base play. It looks like because the third base was so delayed for Dark, and because Dark was mining through the minerals on the left-hand side, no, it looked like SHIN was maybe thought he was safe to skip his Bailey Nest. So there was no Bailey Nest for SHIN. That's why he had no Bailings, of course, back at home, and he was caught off guard by the Ling flood. Unfortunately, SHIN tried to save the third base, and that killed him. That killed SHIN. If SHIN, like, it did mean that SHIN, he moved down the ramp with those queens. As soon as the queens got surrounded, that was game then and there. That meant that he had so much less defender's advantage. That means he has less lava. He has no injects either. That means over time, Dark did just overwhelm SHIN. Did snowball out of control. GG, well played. Dark does take it. That was a wild series. That was a wild series, Papi. GG, well played. Dark is going to be our champion, but we went the distance, and I appreciate that we did. I appreciate that we went all the way to Game 5. This was a wide array of ZvZ. We didn't get a single macro game. No macro. Just constant all-ins or crazy builds. Very chaotic. It's what we love between SHIN and Dark. It's what we do love, what we do appreciate. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark. My condolences to SHIN, but a shout out as well. SHIN had a really rough start. He had a really rough start to the series, so for SHIN to bring it back and force the ace match was very impressive and was very exciting as well. So big shout out to SHIN for making this finals what it was, but of course Dark did barely come out on top in the end, and with that, congratulations. GG, well played. Whew, here we go. And with that, we're wrapping up. With that, we are wrapping up for the time being. I say for the time being because today is going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day of StarCraft here. For those that are curious, we have 3 broadcasts. We have the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, followed by MSO. Master Swan Open is going to be in a couple of hours. Let me just double check. It's going to be in 3 hours time. In 3 hours time, we have Master Swan Open. And then after Master Swan Open, right after that, in 3 hours after the start of MSO, is the JEC. It is the JEC Open Cup. It is an event organized and hosted by OSC Esports. By OSC, so again, another event here tonight. 3 events, back to back to back. It's a lot of StarCraft today. A lot of StarCraft. So if you enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed the content, consider following. Consider following the CranKy Ducklings, whether it's here on Twitch, whether it's over on YouTube, or even some of the other social medias out there, you know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings in the chat. You can follow us, and you'll be notified when we go live, as we're going live a lot today. A lot. So plenty of content is going to be available. I won't be casting MSO. Kuro is going to be casting MSO. I'm going to be adminning MSO, so that will give me some time to rest my voice a little bit while I'm, you know, working behind the scenes on MSO, but I will be casting JEC afterwards. Cool. Getting a lot of StarCraft. Ladder time? God no. With the amount of, like, if I didn't have a cast later, then I probably would ladder, but because we have more events coming tonight, no shot. I do need some time to rest and recover and allow myself to keep on going. But with that, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here tonight. And we'll see you guys in a couple of hours for some more StarCraft 2 content, for some more tournaments. Likewise, again, our next broadcast is going to be in 3 hours, then 3 hours after that. And tomorrow, we're going to be live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup in just over 24 hours. Otherwise, you can stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to send our love to. So we'll find someone to raid. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We'll see you guys later on this evening for some Master Swan Open StarCraft. Otherwise, oh, and very quickly, if you want to help support the tournament, of course, !KSL. !KSL in the chat. That is a link to the Patreon of the Korean StarCraft League. We have our own Patreon to support our tournaments. Likewise, the KSL have their own Patreon as well to support the Korean StarCraft League, to help boost the prize pool, to grow the event, and to allow for it to continue on as well. It is funded by the community, for the community. So if you want to support Korean StarCraft, the Patreon is the place to be. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Until then, thanks for watching. Until next time, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.